Back at Lake Onondaga in Syracuse, New York, here is the boat that went over just moments ago. Mike Hansen was driving this boat. You can see the cockpit. The canopy literally was torn off. Now, we described the accident and said that as the boat turned over and re-entered the water from this airborne trip, it literally ripped the canopy right off of the cockpit. So fortunately, Mike was able to just get right out from underneath the boat and come up in a matter of seconds. But you can see it was an accident that happened free of any interference from any of the other boats. Look at the damage that was done to the Sutphen Spirit. That was a boat that had been towed all the way to Florida and then brought back up. But now we are also learning we have had a boat disqualified. The Mr. Pringles is disqualified. That will allow the Miller High Life back in. Chip Hanauer will drive the Miller High Life, and Johnny Prevost is back into the seat of the Circus, which is also in this heat. So we have the driver changed again. Miller High Life will be driven by Chip Hanauer, and the original driver of Circus is back in his own boat, Johnny Prevost. You see him right there from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as he gets ready to go. So the Miller boat is in as you look at the Budweiser, now getting ready to run, and also the Days Inn moves up as an alternate boat. Days Inn traveler, Stephen David.
And Stephen David is lane 1, but he'll hang back as Chip Hanauer takes the Miller High Life over to lane 1. Circus John Prevost in the next lane, followed by Oh Boy Alberta with George Woods. Then comes the U7, which is the Paddock Pools of Jerry Hopp. He's in the race. And the Miss Budweiser with Tommy Deeth on the outside as they come down for the restart of the final heat and all the money. Look at those rooster tails fly.
Better than 180 miles an hour into the first corner. It is no longer, as we said earlier, a case of getting there first and leading the train. It's competition all the way around the course. Miss Budweiser, Tommy Deeth, has taken the lead, but he has got challenges in his rooster tail. He's got to be very alert, watching the rest of the field on the inside. It is the Circus again, riding in second place. Now remember, earlier in the day, Circus was able to come up and challenge the Miss Budweiser several times through. But at the moment, Tommy Deeth is leading as he comes down to complete lap number 1 in the Miss Budweiser, and he's got a good ride going.
And Circus on the inside, slides around. Checkpoint number 4 coming down to complete lap number 1. There comes Circus on, just about to pull abreast of the Budweiser. 133.6 for Miss Budweiser. 130.5 for the second place Circus.
Less than 3 miles an hour difference between those two boats, and it has been Circus closing as they finished up lap number 1. Johnny Prevost has got the inside line. He's running a little lesser course. Here's your third place boat, the U2, Oh Boy Alberto. Again, we have said consistency is the story of this boat, and that is the story for the final heat this far.
And now Budweiser moves out to about a 14-boat length lead, and the Miller High Life comes up now to challenge for second and give chase to Tommy Deeth.
Miller High Life with Chip Hanauer back in the seat of that boat. There's your leader, the Miss Budweiser, Bernie Little's boat out of Lakeland, Florida. That boat has really had an excellent day out here. 800 points coming into this final heat. You can't do any better. There's Johnny Prevost still holding on to second, but you can see Miller was just creeping up on the inside of him. So Chip Hanauer is going to challenge Johnny Prevost for second place.
130.4 mile an hour for the Miss Budweiser on lap 2 as he shakes it loose off of corner number 2 down the back chute.
These boats averaging over 5,000 pounds each. The thrust of those big turbine engines forcing them through the water. They are literally skimming across the top. As you watch the Budweiser as she goes into the turn, watch just on this side of the driver to see that extra rooster tail. There it is as the skid fin kicks in to the driver's left-hand side. Miller now moving up in the field, has passed Circus. Chip Hanauer in the Miller High Life boat is now going to try to challenge for the lead.
I believe he's got something wrong with his right up fin. I don't see, let's take a look. It's falling apart. He's not got the stabilization he thinks so on the back end. He's hanging loose there. His boat is starting to come apart at the rear end. Meanwhile, your third place boat, Circus, John Prevost.
Boy, that is a dangerous situation for the Miller High Life boat right now, but an experienced driver like Chip Hanauer probably is sensing at this point that something is wrong with his boat. He may not be able to see the back end of the boat in his rear view mirrors to know for sure what's wrong. There you can see He is not showing any concern at this point, but you can see some of the damage starting to occur on the right side as you look at the screen, the far side. Watch that stabilizer wing on the back. Chip Hanauer in the Miller High Life boat in second place. Look at the skid fin as it grabs hold of the water, and he hangs it on the hook.
And in second place, he is 9 miles an hour faster than the Budweiser slap in first place, so he's starting to close the gap.
Chip Hanauer has had a wild and woolly day. He started out driving in this heat in the Circus, but after the Sutphin Spirit went over, they could then move the Miller High Life up into the actual starting field, so he went back into the seat. He is now challenging his nemesis, Tommy Deeth, in the Miss Budweiser. This is a rivalry that trails this circuit everywhere these boats run.
Tommy Deeth picked up the gauntlet when the driver, Jim Cropsell, was hurt in the first race of the year in Miami. And he's doing a whale of a job here today as he looks for his first win in many years.
Tommy Deeth driving to Miss Budweiser. The boat you see right there, the Miller High Life, Chip Hanauer, actually going faster than the lead boat, but he was back in the pack at the start. He was in third position, came up, beat out Circus for second, and now is trying to catch the leader, but time is running out. The clock is playing against the second place boat. Here comes your checkered flag. That is all the time that Chip Hanauer will get. Tommy Deeth will take the win in the Miss Budweiser. What a great story to be told. This boat just a couple of weeks ago was on its roof in Evansville, Indiana. They brought it back a week later in Madison. They have it back again, and it is now a winner. So Miss Budweiser takes the win here in Syracuse, New York, second place, and what an effort by Chip Hanauer driving the Miller High Life boat.
And the first place boat is the Miss Budweiser, a winner for the first time this year. And we'll be back with the winning driver after this timeout. Back here on Onondaga Lake, Jim Hendrick along with Dick Crippen. And race number 5 is now history. And the waters have calmed down. The sun is out. It's been a good ending to a pretty good racing day. Miss Budweiser wins their first race of 1988 with a perfect 1,200 points. Let's go down to the pits and Dick Crippen. Dick?
This is one happy-looking group here.
Absolutely. But this one's for Anthony Cotter in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Bernie, well, it's been a while in coming.
It has, and we've had everything happen that could happen, and Jim Cropfeld is just on the phone, and he is so happy for Tom and all of us, and needless to tell you, the Miss Budweiser earned it all the way.
Well, Tommy, you had to kind of push it out there for the first couple of laps. You had some competition.
Oh, absolutely. But the Miss Budweiser responded to every command, and the crew really did a great job setting the boat up for me. It's a victory for Thumper, Miss Budweiser. That's our rabbit, Thumper. She did it today.
Well, a happy crew, and understandably so, because as we look at the HFC High Point Fund for the year right now, Mr. Pringles is leading, but obviously Miss Budweiser with the win today has closed in and is now in the race for the High Points.
And so we've passed the halfway mark for 1988. The Eastern Swing is done. The next stops, West Coast, Tri-Cities, Washington, Seattle, San Diego, and Las Vegas.
Boy, it has been an exciting East Coast trip, too. I got to tell you, we've had 5 different winners out here. Today, we had to battle a little bit of wind, and on that subject, we might tell you that Mike Hansen apparently is okay. That's a good report. We're happy about that. And, of course, the Miss Budweiser crew, Jim, they're going to be celebrating for a couple of days on the way to Seattle. It has been a very, very fine finish to the eastern half of the tour.
See you on the West Coast.
Okay.
Dick Crippen, Jim Hendrick, so long.
The HFC American Hydroplane Series is sponsored by Household Finance Corporation, America's financial resource. Merc Cruiser, stern drives and inboards, way out in front. And Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Promotional consideration has been provided